Hey everybody, welcome to Hel Talk. Today I have two-thirds of the flying Prignanos. I guess I would say the better looking two-thirds, I would assume. We got Rick and Logan. They just, well, I say just, but they got back from Origins. Both did really well. This I'm not lying when I say it was both for both of you. It was your first nationals, right?
Yeah. Yeah. First for me.
Gotcha. All right. So yeah, so first nationals, and they both made top cut. So we're proud of them. And by we, I just mean me. No one else is. No,
Mm.
but the I guess let's I don't know, divide this into like three sections or whatever. I don't know. But the first kind of main topic, whatever I wanted to ask you guys about was just as a general experience, specifically too, like comparing it to Adepticon. How you guys thought about it, the venue, how things ran and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um,
So, oh, you go ahead, Logan. You go first.
no, I thought it was like the HeroClix experience by itself was like pretty similar to Adepticon. We definitely had more space at Nationals than Adepticon, but outside of the HeroClix wise, I thought it was better than Adepticon. Just cause like there was this place called North Market that was close, and it was just like a really cool food place. It was just like a massive food court basically, and it was just like it had every food. I don't know. I like that store a lot. Um, but yeah,
It had enough meat, huh? Give
Yeah.
me
it
that
did.
meat. But
But
when you
yeah,
say you said Origins had more space for HeroClix, I don't what do you mean by that?
like there was just like more tables there, if that makes sense. Like there was just like a bigger space where the HeroClix was played than at Adepticon.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, that would also just make sense purely
Yeah.
because when you look at the player cap for Adepticon, it was like 32 people, for the main event. Like they capped it at that. So
Mhm.
that was probably just due to a space issue. Like that was the maximum amount of tables that they could get like reserved for them. So that would make sense since Nationals was double that.
But yeah.
So Rick, did you were you also fascinated by the barbecue as much as Logan?
I mean, yeah, the North Marketplace was really cool, but really just the convention center in general I thought was better. It was a lot bigger. Um, I mean, there was like no what, which was kind of weird. There was no security. You literally just walked in, like brought your bag, you bring in all your. I mean, I know at Adepticon they let you bring in drinks and food too, but you literally bring everything in there.
Do you remember
Nobody says
what was the
anything to
name of
you.
the building?
It was some big convention center. I forget what it was called, but it was really, really big. They had food courts inside of there, other little stands to get snacks. And then like literally you could literally just walk outside and there's just stuff everywhere to get food. So I don't know, just it was and everything was like fairly priced. It wasn't like, oh, convention center $10 hot dog. It was like you're just at a mall food court kind of. So it was worth it. But yeah,
Nice.
downtown Columbus was like nice for a downtown area.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
All
I
right.
enjoyed it a lot. I liked it.
And how was the drive over there and the drive back? Did it seem
It
long,
was
shorter than what, or how did it go?
it wasn't terrible. Obviously, yeah, I'd rather drive to Milwaukee, but 5 hours. It was probably about the perfect drive time that I would expect for like a big event like that. Like it was, I wasn't driving 10 hours or nothing. I mean, Logan can't really tell you. On the way back, he slept like 90% of the ride.
It
He
was
was
great.
slumped. He was slumped.
Yeah, yeah. But it wasn't that bad. I mean, I just put on a podcast, whatever, and just drove. It was pretty much highway, like no traffic. I didn't hit any rain or anything. So the drive there and back wasn't terrible. I would definitely do it again.
Nice. And then, where did you end up staying at when you were out there?
We stayed at, I think it was called Comfort Suites. It was like literally like 7 minutes, a 7 minute drive
Gotcha.
from there. And then there was parking garages. There was one a little further away that was like by the hour for like all day. It was like $15. But I splurged, and there's one literally right by the HeroClix side that was like $30 for the day. So I just did that. It wasn't terrible. To leave it there all day. And it was
Yeah,
close
that's not
enough
bad.
to where we could walk back to the car. Like at the end of the day, we would walk all of our stuff to the car and then walk and go get food down there and then bring it back to the hotel.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. Not bad at all. So, all in all, I don't know. I don't want to. I was gonna ask about the uh, the staff that were specifically running the events. I know a lot of them were similar to Adepticon, but not
Yeah.
all of them were exactly the same. I was gonna ask you if any of them were better or worse, but I feel like that's like calling. I don't want to like insult anybody
Well,
and be like
no,
you're a
no,
worse
no, there
judge or
was
whatever. Then
no, yeah. If
um,
I guess if I had something to say like that, I wouldn't. But yeah, it was very similar to Adepticon, where it was run really smooth. There's really no issues at all. There was one issue. What was it, round three, where someone it was like a player issue too. Someone like entered the scores wrong, so then they caught it and they had to reseed everybody for like round three of Swiss for modern. But besides that, yeah, it was just like Adepticon. Everything went nice and smooth.
all
Yeah,
right.
it was nice.
They seem to have
Any
got it down packed. HC units is great for that.
Yeah, I feel like it's odd thinking this, but there's eventually going to be something that's better. But I feel like we're in like the ideal period of like, well, what can be better than HC units? Like that's as good as it can get.
Yeah.
So you guys got there. So let's see. So the main event
Late
was started on
Thursday.
Saturday. So when did you guys get there? On Thursday, Friday?
Yeah, Thursday night. We caught the end of the silver
Silver.
championship. Like when we got there, Joe and Isaac were playing in the silver final.
Oh, nice, nice. I don't actually have that silver match open because I was actually gonna do probably a recording by myself talking about the results of that and whatnot. Um, but I don't know if you were familiar with what Isaac played when he won Silver Age at HeroClix for Huntington's. Um,
Yeah, kind of. I know. I
was it
think
the
he was
same?
playing
Was
the
it the
same
same
exact team. Yeah,
same
that
stuff?
Angel Bomb. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. I'm like, yeah. I was like, do we need to see Sakari and Iron Man win again? I don't know.
Yeah.
Just like no. Like I said, it's a great team. Uh, but yeah, I'm hoping we see some Silver Age changes based on the last couple events, especially when Isaac ran it back. It's like, all right, if he ran it back, especially with the same team, kind of like, all
Yeah.
right, there should probably be some changes because people knew it was coming and they still
And
couldn't
there's
beat it.
still
Like,
nothing they can do about it. Yeah.
yeah, that's a little bit of an issue. Um, but then, so yeah, so you got there Thursday night, and then so Friday, what did y'all do?
We just did
BRs.
the BRs and the premium BRs all day.
So what's the difference both in cost and like pricing? Like what separates a regular BR and a premium BR?
The
It was
premium
like
BR was only like $12 more.
yeah. No, it was
The BR.
only 12.
And then what does everybody get an extra thing, or how does that work? And
They
how
just
about we have
dropped it.
Logan answer this question so you don't interrupt each
Yeah.
other?
They dropped the chase booster in the thing and then opened it. And then you just got the draft from the context of the chase booster also with everything else. So they still dropped the 4 LEs and whatever was pulled. But then in the premium, they dropped the chase booster. I think it was either Collector's Trove, Black Panther, or Deadpool. And then, yeah, you just open the chase booster. And it's just like the first person takes the chase out of the chase booster. It's just like the second person takes the pog. Like, it's just like you draft from what's inside of it.
Gotcha. And that makes sense now when I'm thinking about it, where if it's $12 extra a person, so it's like $48, which is pretty much like cost, like it's like a $50 cost for most stores to get. So
It was only $34.
Almost
I'm pretty
36.
sure.
what I'm saying is like the if it's $12 extra,
Oh,
and then if that $12 extra times the 4 players, that's how it pays for that chase booster, because
okay. I
that's like
see.
an extra $48. So that's about like cost of a store's cost for a chase booster. So WizKids is still making their money on that, so that's good. Yeah. So did any of you get first when at a premium BR?
I didn't.
I didn't. I'm bad at BRs, but the greatest thing about the premium BRs is like you almost want to come in like last or third because there's just so much good stuff to pick from.
Oh, you want that double pick at the end for the snake?
Yeah, yeah, because
Yeah.
there's so much good stuff. It's like that double pick is like 2 picks of like stuff that someone who come in first in a regular BR would take.
Yep. Like in
Yeah.
my BR, my premium, there was only 3 people, but they still dropped 4 LEs, which wasn't supposed to happen. So I came in last, and I got Kanto and 4 Bushman back to back, and that's like 2 first picks in normal BR.
Yeah. Wow. No kidding.
Yeah, it was
So
good.
how many premium BRs did you end up joining? I mean, I don't know how many they ran each day, but
It
You
was
just did
2
two
each
on
day.
Friday. Yeah.
2 each day. Okay, gotcha. Well, I mean, yeah. I'm hoping they keep doing those because that sounds like a good deal.
Yeah, that
Regardless,
was for sure a great deal.
yeah, because it's like basically it's like saying, yeah, if you're paying $20 something and you might get one good thing, it's like, okay, would you want to double the cost? Well, I'm just using that in air quotes, double the cost, but guarantee yourself 2 good things. You're like, oh yeah, I'll do that. So it's basically it sounds like you're playing effectively like 2 BRs at the same time, and you kind of like don't care what place you get. So
Yeah, you don't care what place you get at all. Like I said, the guy who come in first probably gets the worst stuff, but he's still getting good stuff.
it gets the worst stuff. Yeah,
Unless you pull
yeah. I mean,
unless you pull like an Ultra Chase Collector or something like a crazy piece out of the Chase Booster or like one of those equipment pogs or whatever.
oh yeah, exactly right. Yeah, if you get a really good bystander and or a really good or the chase that you want, of course, yeah, you can grab that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let's see. Well, here's hoping. That's a really good format. So let's see. Then we can start talking about your guys' overall results in the main event. So like I said in the beginning, the 2 of you both made top cut.
Yep.
You both went 4-1 to get to the top cut.
Mm-hmm.
Do either of you offhand know how many points you guys scored to get to the top cut?
My dad knows, and I know. Yeah, we both know exactly what our points were.
Okay. I was gonna say if you didn't know, I was gonna have you guys guess without looking.
And mine's easy. I
Yours
wiped
easy.
everybody and then scored 10 points against Isaac.
All right. Well, that goes. Yeah, that answers that. No, but I wanted to kind of go through each round, and if you guys had any thoughts at all about any of your matchups, just share those. If you learned anything, if you were interested in what you were up against, and especially if it was something you haven't faced before, and like I said, if you learned anything, or if you uh, had any tips and tricks to share. Um, let's start with Rick, because that's the page I have open right now. Um, so Rick, in round one, he went against John Hoffner, and he was playing the Odin and Ravens team with Captain
Yeah.
America and Copycat. It says, let's see, you won 90-0. So anything interesting happened in that game, or was it just a 90-0 game?
Yeah, nothing really interesting. It was just literally I couldn't kill the Odin. It was just too high a defense. So I just killed, his Captain America and his copycat. And then I was just fighting it and time ran out. It was just too hard to hit. He was always like +3.
Right, yes, because he will have uh well, he has plus,
Well, he
like, he
had the
has, like, what, plus.
destroyer armor on him, and he gets like these tokens that give him plus combat values.
Yes, yes, so he starts with basically +2 combats of everything, and then, yeah, like you said, in addition to destroyer, so he'll always have +3 defense, and, +2 everything else until you start getting to stop clicks, but yeah, like I said, if you're not really
Yeah, I hit him to
focusing really.
one stop click and he lost one, but then he was still +3 defense.
Right, yeah, yeah, exactly. Alright.
Yeah, so I literally had to run away. I had to have one of my Thanoses carry Spirit of Vengeance and run him away just so he didn't score that 125. Because,
Oh, yeah, that would've been bad. Yeah.
yeah, that would
Then
have
you
been
would've
really
lost.
bad. Yeah. Yeah, I just picked him up and ran 12 squares all the way in the bunker, all the way in the back. So he couldn't get me.
Okay, well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yep.
All right. Let's see, Logan, you're round one. You went against, let's see, J. Wyatt Seagrin. What is he was
Mhm.
playing? Oh, he was playing Assassins.
Yeah.
Um, and he scored some points. He scored 110 against you.
hmm
Let's see. So I'm gonna guess. Let's see. If you scored 110 against you, I'm gonna guess he scored what? That means it's like just Sandman Mysterio.
No, he got
No.
Mysterio,
Okay.
Jennifer Kill.
And Panther.
No.
No.
What did he score?
What, Zenzi and
Maybe
Copycat?
or
No,
the
he
Mysterio
scored
drone or
Copycat. No, he definitely scored Mysterio, Copycat, the Phoenix, and I'm pretty sure it was
Gotta be Lucas
Jennifer Kill.
PJ Scott then. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
Lucas PJ Scott, too. Yep, he scored him.
Or unless you flip Fortify or Rivalry, then he didn't score that and got that instead.
I have no clue. I know he killed Mysterio, Phoenix, and Copycat. I don't know if he got anything else. I mean, he did get something else, but you said it's 5 more points?
Well, yeah, because he scored 110. So if Mysterio's 50, then he scored 30 more points or 60 more points. Jennifer kills 30 of those, so you got 30 more points. Copycat's 15, so you got 15 more points. If you scored Phoenix, that's 10, so you got 5 more points he needs to score somewhere.
I
So it's
think he
either a
killed,
one
yeah, he
shot
killed
or
Lucas PJ Scott. That's
yeah.
definitely, yeah. I should have flipped Fortify. Always forget.
So were you did you always have the lead in that game, or I don't know when did he score those points? Or was it
No,
back and forth or?
no, it was, I basically just easily won that game pretty much because I won the role. No, he won the role. He chose me. He chose to put me on Tangled, which wasn't
Yeah,
wasn't a
the
bad
Tangle.
choice
Yep.
for him. And then I killed his Morloon in like his first turn. So we both passed. And then no, I passed, he moved up, I killed Morloon, and then he attacked Mysterio like 3 times and killed him. And then I killed Deadpool and Hitmonkey. So then he basically just had Talon, Mern, and Green Man versus the rest of my team. And he was just running in doing pulse waves with Green Man and Mern. But I just killed them eventually, so that's basically how that game went.
I'm just looking at So how did he get to Mysterio?
Uh, t- so he just moved up like halfway. Because he went second, and he knew that I was going to cross map him if he didn't move. So he just moved up like halfway, crossed the map, and then running shot with Deadpool Hitmonkey with Green Man and shot Mysterio. Because I didn't have anybody in front of Mysterio, which was dumb. He had a direct line, and then Green Man gets shoot through elevation. So
I see, and he gets more range so that he can stay away from any Mysterios that would be able to see him
yep.
to take away his improved targeting. I got you. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was mostly confused about. I'm like, how did he? Because I'm like, I was like, Mysterio doesn't have any keywords that Mern, has, so he can't see them,
Mm-hmm.
automatically, and that's why I was just confused. But that makes sense that he could see, yeah, over the elevation and then extra range. All right, that makes sense. And then also, I don't know, just to make clear, we didn't really establish. I guess we just always assume that people know what you guys are playing, but Logan, Logan was playing I don't even know if I want to say typical, but it's the the Spot Mysterio Sandman, and friends.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Sinister Syndicate package, and then Rick was playing it's the Spirit of Vengeance Red Hulk with Ghost Rider. So let's see let's go to see what did round two, what did Rick do in round two? Round two he was up against he's up against Ed, so Isaac's dad. And what was he playing? He was playing Green Scar and with a Peacemaker. Okay.
Yeah, and the Arrow and the Phoenix Fog.
Yeah, so they was because Arrow says if you got to share a keyword or something, right? No, that's
Yeah,
not that. Oh, it does have, yes, has to share a keyword. Yeah, but yep,
or
the Phoenix
Fly or
Fog.
whatever. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you can then fly or share a keyword, and then yeah, Phoenix says
So I had
everybody
a
shares a keyword.
crazy misplay in this turn in this game. This game was not even close until I just completely threw it away.
Oh, what happened? What happened?
So he couldn't do anything. He wouldn't attack Ghost Rider or Spirit of Vengeance. He even knew it. He was like, "Oh, this is over." And he tied down my Spirit of Vengeance with his Daredevil with the destroyer armor and the barrel. So I couldn't break away. And I missed my willpower. So it took me a while to get my Thanos out. I only ended up getting one turn with Thanos. But it was like close to the end. And he was literally brought his green scar all the way to the other side, just trying to score my time breakers and Perdegaton and, my whatever little points he could. And me being a complete idiot, I was just like, I thought green scars move and make attacks where attacks is free. So I brought out Beetlejuice and I rolled and he was on click one. And I'm just like, I'm like, okay, he can't kill me physically. Like he didn't have enough things to do to kill me. So I left him out. And then he had hypersonic on him. And then he was able to make 3 attacks and kill my Beetlejuice. So it was a just complete not reading the card.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
I could have
that's
just
where
let him go back away. Yeah, and he would have had nothing. It was a complete misplay.
Yeah, because then he would have had, well, according to the score, yeah, he would have had only 30 points then. Yeah.
Yeah, he killed Perdegaton and 2 time breakers. That was it.
Oh man.
And
Oh
and it was a
man.
little the game went a little slow. Like I said, I only got 1 turn with 1. I was only able to get my Spirit of Vengeance, so 1 stop click by pushing himself with Kafan because he wouldn't attack him, and then got a
Right. Well,
Thanos out, and
that's
I
what you got
wiped.
to do. Yeah, that's what you
Yeah,
got
I
to do.
wiped Arrow and Copycat, and like I killed a bunch of stuff on that turn, but it just wasn't enough. I killed the Share Panther early with Ghost Rider. But yeah, just letting them get Beetlejuice was what lost me the game. So I learned from that though. Read the card.
Read the
I was just trying to play fast. I was trying to get more turns, you know. So I just brought him out. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'll just leave him out. He can't get me. But he sure could.
Especially since, like you said, you rolled a 1, right? So you were on
Yeah.
top click.
And I had him next to a time breaker, so I was like, ooh, I could even mastermind it. But he was able to get his own time breaker over there and push Beetlejuice away 1 square.
Yep.
And then hit me with 3 attacks. Yep.
All right. Let's see. Round 2 for Logan. So round 2, Logan was against Adam Cole. Adam was playing. Wow, he was playing Super Sore at 300. Holy smokes. I mean, I don't want to assume anything, but how long did this match last, Logan?
20 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be very long.
30 minutes.
Let's see. Well,
Actually,
I'm looking at the score. Like he got 195 points, so
yeah,
that's quite a bit. So yeah,
it
I
was
don't know. Yeah,
Gaia.
was it just he just had a lot of health and just was able to get turns from that.
Yeah, he got turns from that. He just killed a bunch of goons, really. And then me being so dumb, he brought out Gaia, right? Didn't know what Gaia did with removing the terrain and doing 2 penetrating damage or 2 damage or whatever. She does damage with that. And I put terrain all around her, and I kept my spot right next to her. I put Smoke Cloud with Sandman. I was like, oh wow, her attacks me -1 if she tries that spot. And then she just got rid of that stuff and then killed Spot that turn. And then, yeah, that was it. Because then he killed all my Mysterio goons, Spot, and then I just kept giving her Battle Fury with Zenzi. And then he just couldn't do anything. And I made more Mysterio goons and poisoned her down in like 2 turns. Or,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how many turns it was.
Yeah, because she also damages herself 3 damage every turn as well. So
yeah. But yeah, that was an easy game. I just outwitted Super Source Dial every time.
yeah, I figured that, and it's like when I saw someone, I was like, all right, well, like I don't think Super Sore lived that long. I think I was like, probably Gaia did more damage than Super Sore, but I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think Super Sword killed one. Super Sword didn't kill anybody. It was Gaia who scored all those points.
Gotcha. All right, round 3. Oh man, round 3. Rick went against Howard Brock. What's going on with this?
Collector.
Went against the man himself. Let's see. Yeah, he was playing Collector with Bloodstone, Bucky's Arm, and Dream Ruby with Blue Beetle. All
Yeah,
right.
which wasn't great against my team because, Ghost Rider. So we couldn't just say I didn't have anything. So I literally just rushed him in the bunker.
Oh, right. Yeah, because Blue Beetle can't say, like, oh, you can't use.
Yeah, he
something.
had to
All
ask.
right,
He didn't believe me either, but yeah. He's like, we had to call the judge. But yeah, Ghost Rider still gets to use it, and whoever's adjacent to him. But I knew he had the shape change stuff, so I just gave Spirit of Vengeance, Battle Fury from Phoenix Wolverine, and
Yep.
just went to work on him. It was hard to hit Blue Beetle because of he had the destroyer armor on Blue Beetle, so he was a high defense. But Phoenix Wolf, I
Yeah.
was able to bring out Phoenix Wolverine and just do the damage without even hitting.
Right.
I like got a
just
Thanos
calling
out
it.
from Mystics. Oh no, from pushing myself, and then Mystics brought out Phoenix Wolverine, and I just like one turned him, and then I eventually got both Thanoses out, and I was just he basically conceded.
Gotcha. Yeah, I
He
couldn't
was
see the score
there was
was.
nothing he could do.
Yeah, it's 300 to 15. So he got what 3 time breakers? I don't know. How does 15 come from your team? I don't know.
To be honest, I don't even remember.
I watched that game.
My team.
You KO'd 3 of your own by time breakers.
Oh,
with
I brought out Beetle. Once he got enough tokens on Spirit of Vengeance, I just was building up time breakers in the back, and then I just brought out Beetlejuice.
so like
he
once
couldn't
it was
give
like
me,
he was
so
like
he couldn't give me
away.
enough. Yeah, so he couldn't give me enough
Yeah.
to be able to collect me.
That makes sense. Paying say I'll pay 5 points just so you can't collect me next turn. Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
if you want to hit me and let me bring out Beholder, or I think I might even no, I had both Thanoses. Yeah, so I only had one more guy to bring out, but he literally couldn't kill him in one turn.
I mean, I don't want to be like changing the subject too much on just my experience that I've had with, because I played the Spirit of Vengeance too, but this was at a, not not nationals. But my experience with him and Beholder is like, I think Beholder is necessary to use with Spirit of Vengeance, because not only does he, when he comes out, he ends the turn. I think that's a fun, interesting gimmick, but I think it's also necessary because he can turn off equipment.
Yeah.
So, and I'm
as long
like,
as there's not a main force Beetlejuice.
Correct. But that's the other thing too. It's like, well, then if there's a main force Beetlejuice, you bring out Thanos and you Thanos whacks him, and then you do other stuff,
Yeah.
So, but it's definite. I think it's definitely interesting enough where it's like it's another way to beat a collector, because I can beat him out and say, oh, collector, you can't use any of your equipment. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
well, that sucks,
Yeah, in
Or-
my head, that was my way to be able to deal with a high defense collector, because I could just shut off the destroyer armor, and then he'll just be just a 19.
Exactly.
So that's
And
what I was my thought.
It's also the only way that it's the most convenient way, I think, to deal with another Dream Ruby player, like a Ghost Rider Dream Ruby player, I should say.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because he's like, no, let's not do that. You're gonna let me hit you. So, but all right. Let's see what happened to Logan in round 3. Oh, round 3 he went against Isaac, and we all know what happened there.
That was the 10 points.
Yeah, it was the Thanos and Thanos and Thanos and Thanos, and
it was really just I just couldn't win because of main force Beetlejuice.
Yeah, it was.
That was it. If he didn't have main force Beetlejuice, I would have won that game. So easy.
It's the fact that like spot teams and are so good that Beetlejuice became like required to play main force, because you couldn't play him on sideline, because then they would just chair panther him. So, and then the question was like, okay, well, if I'm going to play Beetlejuice on my main force, if I have to in order to deal with spot, then what do I play with him? And it's like, oh yeah, you just play characters that don't need to do free actions. And even though I will say it hurts me like a little bit, not that I really care, but it hurts me a little bit that with Beetlejuice, you can't use Spirit of Vengeance's poison even after he's been moved or placed. Because I'm like, oh, that's his cool attack power, but it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just he goes in and he hits for 6 damage, and then you just keep doing stuff with him until you bring out Thanos, and you know.
Yeah, in our
But yeah,
game,
and
the
then
Spirit of Vengeance didn't even make an attack. It was just running around with Cthon, dealing damage, and he brought out Thanos and clicked me.
yeah, but like I said, it's you don't even you can make an attack or even not. You don't care. You're like, yeah, every turn I'm just gonna move and deal myself damage
Well, he
because
did a cool little trick to bring out to
Yeah.
click him an extra one.
Let me say it. All right, so he brought out a
Rival's
Thanos.
Respawn, you mean?
No, everybody knows that one. That's not cool.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I'm just
He brought out Thanos, right? Because he moved up Spirit of Vengeance all the way. Then he carried Beetlejuice with Kong, placed him next to Spirit of Vengeance, sidestepped with Beetlejuice carrying Spirit of Vengeance, putting Spirit of Vengeance next to my Chair Panther, and then he Energy Explosion, targeting my Chair Panther, and then dealing one also to his Spirit of Vengeance, bringing out another Thanos.
yeah, because he's got Precision Strike. Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
cool trick.
It's the what was it, like the Russian nesting doll of Thanos's? So that's another thing I'm going to talk about. I don't know. Maybe we can talk about it if we have time, but that's another thing I was definitely going to talk about, probably in a Hell Talk just by myself as I ramble. Uh, Um, but I don't know. Yeah, he was also playing Kong. You know, I mean, it kind of just makes sense if you're like, well, I got only 4 characters on my team in the beginning, so I guess just a good way of carrying people around. And
I think trying to keep Beetlejuice from getting killed too, because he can mastermind the Kong if you really wanted.
He also just quaked and made the blocking terrain also as like barrier.
yeah, it's like a pseudo barrier, exactly. Like when I'm gonna move over here and then Quake put this barrier, Phoenix puts the rest of them. That makes sense. Yeah. All right. Let's see. That was your first loss. That was your both. Well, so we've already covered both of your 2 losses in Swiss. So every other game we're going to talk about, you win. Yippee! Let's see. Round 4 for Rick. He was against Brandon Hogan, going against another collector team. Okay. This was collector with Destroyer, Universal Weapon, and the Vandarian Wand, which is the energy explosion equipment. They also had Harley. He had 2. Oh, it was double Harley Quinn. This is the double Harley Quinn team. Okay.
Yeah.
So he went against that. Oh, well, how did let's see. What was the score here? Okay, well, he only got 20 points, right, which I'm guessing is per Degaton. So, but
Nope. All he got was 4 time breakers.
4 time. Okay, 4 time breakers. Well, was that game was it significantly different than the Howard Brock collector game or anything different?
Yeah, like he had a cool trick what he wanted to do, but his whole team relies on going first. And I was like, I'm going to bring you to the bunker because I knew what he wanted to do. I have to spread my team out. He wants the energy explode. Everyone takes the unavoidable. And
so he was able to go first though in your game.
Yeah, he's themed, so he won the roll. He went first. So I took him to Brock's bunker. And then I literally just sent out, like I did every game, sent out Spirit of Vengeance and Ghost Rider. He didn't want to attack them. And I literally just used my timebreakers and Perdegaton to just carry Kevin through walls so he could never target me. He could never run it. He wanted to get Perdegaton and all my timebreakers all with one energy explosion, which he had a cool trick that he pulled off the game before. And I think he was a little too eager to try to get it again because as we were setting up, Aaron Morgan walked by and he's like, I can see that this interaction is going to happen again. He's like, when it does, just come get me. He's like, call for Judge. I'll come over and explain it. So I was like, what the hell, you know? And he was eager to try to do it to me, but I didn't let it happen. And it wouldn't have happened regardless. But the trick was, if you enter, so most people play Kevin with Towerette, which I wasn't. But so they keep him on prop. So if you energy explode him, he takes the 1 and goes off board, and then takes 2 unavoidable, which would put him to, or he just goes off the board and then he takes the 2 unavoidable, which puts him to KO. So at first during Swiss, they ruled it that just kills Kevin in 1 action. Like he can't come back on the board.
Gotcha.
But they ended up changing that back. So you can even do the trick with the keeping Beetlejuice out with Kevin again. But because they changed that, so yeah, he was trying to get him off the board, but I just didn't let him target anyone. I just killed his Harleys and then got my Thanoses and Wolverine out and just killed his collector.
All right, makes sense. All right, let's see what we got going on round 4 for Logan.
Okay.
Round 4, you were up against Robert Gallagher, and he was playing. He's playing Jennifer Kale, Butterfly, Double Man Thing, Wonder Woman. Okay, so he was playing kind of like I don't exactly. I'm guessing that he was, I mean, it's a Jennifer Kale team. Let's see. He's got Jersey Devil on the sideline, so he's going to be spawning a lot of things.
Jersey
I don't know.
Devil
I
out.
mean, yeah. How exactly did that game go? Let's see. So the score, he got 75 points against you, so not too bad.
No, I cooked them, basically. I scored like
I mean,
500 points that game, I feel like, but
what,
so what happened?
yeah, what was his strategy? I'm just trying to, because to me, I'm just looking at this team and like instant gut reaction. I'm like, oh, it just seems like a solid-ish Jennifer Kale team, but I'm not 100% on board with why he was playing Wonder Woman, because the Man Things aren't standard characters. So
I
it's
know,
really
that's-
only for whoever he brings in with Butterfly or Jennifer Kale. But I don't know. That just you know it better than I do, so I don't know what his game plan was.
So during the game, I wanted revenge from Silver States. He's the guy who beat me in the finals.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was like, I'm gonna win this game. I was like, I'm gonna wipe him, like before the game even started. So, I won roll.
This kid is just too confident. He's just, I'm gonna wipe this dude.
I won
Oh,
roll,
sorry.
and then I brought him to Brox. He went first. He chose Zala, and I was like, that makes no sense because you share one. The only death metal is the only character you share a keyword with. So I was just like, you're gonna bring across death metal into all my poisons. I was like, that's a terrible choice, but I didn't say anything. And then his first turn, he just moved out of the starting area. And then I killed Man Thing with Spot, supported him up, and then barriered in, so there was nothing he could do. And then he just sat in the same spot. And then I killed Zala. And then he started moving up. And then I killed Death Metal. And then at that point, he got like 13 people or whatever. So he got Jersey Devil. He went in there with Man Thing, quaked, got rid of all the debris, or not debris. He made a lot of debris because there was a lot of blocking. got in there, pulse waved, and then he killed. That game, he killed Jennifer Kale, Copycat, Lucas Scott PJ, and Rivalry and Fortify. That was all he got. And I just basically killed his guys one at a time. Every turn I killed a guy. And it was just, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying when you're talking about his choice of Zala Jor-El not being able to bring anybody else
Oh,
over. I'm not
and then
again. I
later
mean,
here,
without,
this is crazy. So with Cherry
yeah,
Panther, I got rid of Butterfly, knowing when I killed Jolly Jor-El, I'll just score the 60 points right away. And I wouldn't have to go for Butterfly. But I forgot that Man Thing was a giant. He brought back Man Thing with Death Metal, but I still killed Man Thing in one turn, so it didn't matter. But yeah, he technically cheated on
oh
that.
well, okay. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
that's probably why he was playing Wonder Woman then, because he probably just assumed that he could bring Man Thing back to life. Then that's
yeah.
yeah, because if he
But
did
then
it
at the
against
end of the
you, he might
game,
have did it against others.
at the end
So
of the
yeah, I
game,
mean,
he tried to
misplays are
say,
misplays.
yeah, it was my fault too, technically. But at the end of the game, he tried to say I only scored 260 points, and it was just like he technically quit. So I score your full team build. So I score 300 because you technically quit, even though he only had tiebreakers left. You quit, so I scored 300 points. But I killed like 5 tiebreakers because at the end of the game he was just like passing, and I was just killing tiebreakers one at a time. So I killed like 5 tiebreakers, Jersey Devil, and his entire team, and he said I only scored 260 because he thought I didn't score Butterfly because I got rid of him, and that was like a whole 10-minute thing that happened. Or just like the judges like were trying to explain to him how I score Butterfly and that he's wrong because he thought I didn't score Butterfly or Zala, and it was just like I don't know. I knew I scored Butterfly, but then even if I didn't score Butterfly, I scored 80 points for Jersey Devil. So that game I did get I got like 400 some points that game. But I don't know. It was just making me
Yeah,
mad.
I'm still. Like I said, I would probably Rob would probably have the answer to this, but I'm just not seeing the Zala choice, like you said. I get that it can bring people over, but without Phoenix, the Phoenix bystander, it can't bring over everything. And you don't have a choice, like you said. It's like okay, you can bring over Wonder Woman, and
Or
that's it.
tiebreaker.
I
Like
mean,
that was it. Yeah, it was Wonder Woman or tiebreaker.
Cosmic Past Warrior.
And it was just
Yeah,
like, why would you
strange.
pick him? It was just like you pick Reverse Flash or
Yeah, I'm
I don't even
wondering.
know
I
he
mean, maybe
has.
there's a I don't know. Maybe there's a combo that I'm not seeing, and and I don't know. I'm interested. I like Zala as a character, so I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased and I just want to find something that doesn't exist. Uh, but yeah, okay. But interesting team. Uh, and and so he scored more than you needed apparently. Let's see what we got. Round 5. For Rick, round 5, you went against Manuel Ortega, and let's see what he was playing. Ooh, Colonel James Rhodes and a Major Logan. Okay. So what Major Logan stuff? So he was playing Kevin, so that satisfies Major Logan, and the Perdegaton also does against you, and Timebreaker. So okay, so he was
Yeah.
triple succeeding Major Logans. All right. Let's see. What was the score in that game? That was he got 105 points against you, and you got 300. So
Yeah, it was a lot closer than what the score made it seem. Like, I mean, first of all, he was a super cool guy. He does the HeroClix USA with Alec Muser. So they do that podcast. But yeah, he was super cool. We had a fun game, but he's been playing his team for a while. So he was good with it. And he like alphaed me using the drones that I did not see coming, and immediately took out my Shatari, Perdegaton, and Kevin off the board. So that was right when that happened. I was like, oh no, because then I knew I had to deal with Major Logan, but yeah, that scared me right away. I was like, oh, this is gonna be, because I knew I was win or probably don't get in. So I got a little nervous there, but then I was able to just, I got a Thanos out. I outwit Major Logan's super senses and killed him. And then, yeah, I got both Thanoses and Phoenix Wolverine out. And it was just started just picking everything apart. I had an amazing roll with Phoenix Wolverine coming out on his prime roads where he was next to 3 or 4 people. And I rolled a 5. And then Kevin re-rolled it. And then I rolled a 6. So I did like 7 damage to him.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was huge. Yeah, and it was in the middle. Like he attacked me, and I brought him out. And that trick, he wanted to use a trick arrow. He was still top dial. He wanted to use a trick arrow and do more damage, but all of Phoenix Wolverine stuff triggers first. So I was able to hurt him bad. And then I think he missed his trick arrow attack after that. Yeah, so he started off real hot, and then it just went downhill for him. But actually, his Major Logan did work because he's the only person who really attacked Ghost Rider, and he actually KO'd Ghost Rider.
Wow, no kidding. You just got
unlucky because he just went for it. Yeah, and he had the Kevin to re-roll it, and then it was just a normal shape change roll at that point when he had Major Logan.
Right. Yeah. Yes, that is other. Even though you were copying it, that's yep.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I missed it. I re-rolled it, got it, and then Kevin re-rolled it, and I missed it, and then he just hit me with multiple attacks and actually killed him. That's when I was like, oh no. I think that happened obviously happened before I took out Major Logan too. So yeah, I was like, oh no, I'm in trouble. But man, them Thanoses are no joke, man. Especially when his whole team is basically range. He's got to hit 22s.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, hey, you can bring Major Logan up if you want, but he's gonna get killed
in one hit. Yeah, I killed him. So yeah, and then he's just making attacks with his drones 10 on 20. He's got a crit hit. He's just like, yeah, he couldn't. There was not much he could do.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. What did Logan play in round 5? Round 5. Oh, he played against Patrick Frazier. Yep. Holy smokes! He got 290 points against you. What the heck happened? Let's see. Patrick Frazier. Well, if you don't know Patrick Frazier, he was playing the team he always plays. So he got Cat Pegasus, of course. He's playing the Falcon Red Wing team. Yep. Green Man. He's doing it with Quicksilver. That makes sense because it gets the extra speed. And then a million other things because Patrick loves playing with like 38 characters on his team. So he's got Copycats, he's got Goose, he's got Weasel, he's got Time Breakers, and he's even got Civilian. I'm not even going to ask why he's got Civilian on his team. That probably is that might even just be for a joke, but.
Canon event.
Oh, it's for a canon event. Right, because he's trying to KO, because the Time Breakers have toughness. And he needs to KO something with knockback damage to trigger canon event. Okay, that makes sense. So it's not total joke. It's actually for a purpose. So, I mean, how did he get 290 points? What the heck happened?
Killed everything but Spot and a lot of Mysterio goons.
The goons. That's how he got all them points. Okay. So would you say that was your closest game of the day? I mean, of course it was closer than score, but I mean, was that the most nervous a game that you had that you actually won?
Uh, yeah, that day. The most nervous though was definitely my top 16 match. It was just like that was the closest game. But yeah, that day that one was probably the closest.
So if you had to play the Patrick Frazier matchup again, what tips, or if someone else was playing it using your team, like what would you do differently? What tips would you give him?
Uh, I don't even know really.
So let me put it
It
this
was
way: like if I asked you, I said, if I'm playing, imagine I'm playing your team, right?
yeah,
And then I'm saying, oh, I'm up against Patrick Frazier. Like, who do I KO first? Who do I want to go for first?
that Quicksilver probably the Captain Kutex whatever Kooky something.
Captain Kuta. Yeah, the Kooky Quartet. Yeah.
Yeah, just giving the +2 movement that hurt. But yeah, I didn't go for them first, and then he got Cap Eggs in there doing some work. But then I just killed him. But yeah, I would just go for that guy first.
All right. So that was the end of day one. Was the first 5 games. Yep, first 5 rounds. So then you both made top cut because you both went 4-1. And then you both lost to the same guy in top cut. Oh man, how does that feel?
Terrible,
um,
especially since I should have won. I'm a bum.
yeah. I mean, when you're looking at the teams, it's kind of like Logan's like, oh god damn it, like you had to lose and make me go against another guy that
Yeah,
counters
just
Yeah.
me.
auto lose. That game was so gay. I don't care if that guy's listening. That guy hard countered me. The hardest counter he could possibly do in the game right now. Main force Beetlejuice against that Spot team. I have a 0% chance of winning that game. I flipped 2 of my cards, whatever the one shots, and then he just ran his starting area. And that was the game. Couldn't get to him.
Well, Rick did a little bit better than that against him. He got 85 points to 150.
Yeah, I actually scored
Um,
more, but it wouldn't have mattered.
so 85 was what, Moreland and then his cannon event, I'm assuming?
Yeah, but I also should have scored. Uh, Thanos killed one of his Moreland Pogs, so I should have got an extra 10 points there, but it wouldn't matter.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Was that
But
I
yeah,
mean, maybe I may have, I think somebody else was playing Moreland, but was that the only Moreland team that made top cut? I should have checked this before.
Yes.
yeah.
All right. So
But
yeah, so
yeah,
that's interesting.
he got me with that nice little trick with the elevated that I didn't see coming. But he only got me through 2 stock clicks. So I was still able to get 2 Thanoses out. And I mean, literally, my rolls were terrible, and his rolls were really good because he was hitting shape changes with Kongs and Beetlejuice. because he had the phone booth.
The phone booth. Yep, the phone booth.
And then when I would hit, he would miss shape change, and I would hit him with the Thanos. He would hit impervious, and they would take one, and then the next turn he had the herb, and he would just heal up. So it was like I know it's like, I hate to say it, but I mean, it really was. Like, he had a nice trick and got me, but I was still in it, and my dice just failed me that game. But, it's part of it. I learned, I wasn't mad at it. I was upset that I blew it when the odds of me winning that match are probably above 75% if you look at it on paper, but
yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, if you had to run that, knowing the misplays that you did, but also it's kind of like one of those situations where, I forgot what movie it is, but it's like, I know that you know that I know that you know, where it kind of goes back.
Well,
so,
if we replayed it, I win 100% because I have enough movement with Kathan on my, I got 12 movement. I could have went out there and just grabbed his elevated. He only had one elevated. So if I would have known about that trick, I would have just full send it out and picked it up since I have the Crimson Gem.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go looking at his team. Yeah, you're right, and he only has one elevated, and it was the mound one. Yeah, so, and even and because he's kind of, I don't want to say screwed, but he's stuck either way, because it's like, oh, if he triggers mimic, you're like, I don't care that much, because then it's
I wouldn't care at all. Yeah.
Way. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So,
and it's like, go ahead, you want to hit me?
Yeah, so if you get all four of your pilots, you're confident that you got that game.
Yeah, if I would have been able to, I don't even need Beholder. If I could just get both Thanoses and the Phoenix Wolverine out, just him having the ability to almost take out a Kong himself. But I also had other misplays where I should have, I ended up taking out Morloon when I should have, or Morlun, whatever, when I should have killed Beetlejuice. I hit him. I could have did 6 to him. And I was like, oh, but I could kill Morlun. And I was like, I'll just kill Morlun. And it's just like, thinking back on it, it was like, that was probably a dumb decision. But whatever. I knew I was down, and like I said, I was trying to play quick. And I also misplayed on my probs for him to able to kill one of my Thanoses. I don't know. I was trying to play too fast. I need to learn to slow down a little bit. But when I'm down on points, I get a little, trigger happy, and I'm just like, I'm trying to get more turns.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And also too, it's like, you never want to be, it's like, even though no one, like, for me or for you, probably, it's like, even if no one's ever accused you of, being slow playing or whatever, like, you never even want to try to even possibly get in that situation where you're like, oh man,
exactly,
like, it could happen. Like, you're just like, no, I gotta just keep going.
Yeah. I know how it feels to feel, even if someone isn't maliciously doing it, to feel like someone is, even if they're just trying to make the right play. I know how that feels. So yeah, I'd always try to move a little quicker.
All right, but the bright side is Logan won his top 16 matchup, and that was against, let's see, Alex Mater, and he was playing. Well, his team is literally called Camo and Friends. So I'm assuming it's Camo and Friends. Oh yeah, this is the Camo Wonder Woman's, the Cyborg Superman team that has the trick with Fulcrum Abominus and stuff. Okay, I see what he's going for. And he scored. What did he score against you? He scored 115, so not too bad. How did that match go?
He should have won. He had me beat on the matchup. Like, I know the night before I was looking at it and I thought I had it, And then as soon as he did his Volcabotomus thing, and then energy exploded my entire team with that Superman and got rid of my barrel, I was cooked. He just got rid of everything on my team. And I was just sitting in my back row. And there was nothing that I could do. Because then next turn he just barriered in. And I couldn't do anything. And he had me. But then he just missed leadership next turn. With both of his leaderships, his barrier was pushed and Cyborg Superman was pushed. And then he just cleared. I don't know what he was doing leaving Camo in the back either. But then I got Death Metal, killed her twice, got rid of her revive. And then he sent in Camo, and then he missed, took 2 damage from Spot, and then I just killed him with the poisons and the extra thing, and then that was just the game. So he had me beat, but he just I think it was a misplay just leaving Camo back there. And then it was bad dice rolls on him, missing 2 leaderships.
And this is, I guess, mainly educational purposes for anybody else listening, but do you want to explain what the Fulcrum Abominus Cyborg Superman trick is and how the combo works?
Yeah, this is a broken combo. I might play it, but it is Cyborg Superman.
I might play it.
So Cyborg Superman can target. He's like Scarab. From what I know, what Scarab is, he's like Scarab, where he can target through equipped characters. But a person with the Superman team ability must be KO'd before he does that. So he plays Fulcrum Abominus, and he does Diabolical Bargain on the sideline. And then he flipped Diabolical Bargain, killed Fulcrum Abominus, and then he allows Superman to target through characters who are equipped. And Superman also has a thing that's just free destroy a terrain marker within 4 squares, or within that he can see within range of line of fire. Maybe not line of fire, but within, I don't know. Yeah, range, I'm pretty sure. And just destroy it, even if it's being held or if it's on the ground. So he just counted squares from Spot and destroyed my barrel, and then just energy explosion my entire team with triple target because he did Zeus on the sideline too. And then, yeah, that just cooked me.
Yeah, so the combo is effectively giving your opponent 25 points, but then immediately
It's
being
30.
able to target virtually every character on their team, and then and like you said, he can count range from characters that are equipped, and your Spot is equipped, and he's holding something, so you can, so he is therefore within range to just basically for free removing your barrel. So yeah, that's that combo. Well, actually, no, he's giving you 30, like you said. Yeah, 30 because of diabolical.
Yeah, that's super good. And he has a really good setup on that aquarium map with it too.
And that aquarium map, you just can't get in. But the he TK'd the barrel and then barriered in like a diagonal line, and I just could not attack anybody on his team.
So
Like, it was
there's
just
elevation
impossible.
and stuff there.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of elevation, like holes kind of in the ground and stuff like that on that map. So that's another. I feel like did any of you also play besides this game that we're talking about, Logan? Did you play on any other? Did you play any other games on the Alien Aquarian map?
No, I've never seen that
Rick?
map before.
Yeah, I did not either.
No, all right, yeah, because that was another tougher map to get. I think that was just a HeroClix for Huntington's map.
Yeah,
I
I'd never
believe.
seen it, and I was like, what the heck? And then, yeah, I didn't know there was walls around the holes where the aquariums were.
Yeah, that's the other thing that
was
sucks too. There's
cooked.
walls around everything, and then on some of the edges, um, like basically no matter what side you start on, like either the edges, some edges are taller, so you can like basically not be attacked by close attacks, or you can start like inside a room, which is like behind walls and stuff like that. Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
Yeah. Very good map.
But then yeah, I know you kind of already talked about it, but then the last game that either of you played was Logan against Adam, that Rick lost to, and I know Logan said it was 10-0. But yeah, you said he scored. I forgot what you said he scored, and then
Rivalry and Fortify.
right. Oh, he got rivalry and fortify.
Ran back. And then he just put a Moreland guy on the marker. And then there was nothing that I could do.
Well, one funny thing happened that match.
What? Oh,
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. What's the funny thing?
Beetlejuice crit missed on spot. So he took 3 damage.
And then when he learned that, that's when he was like, "Oh, okay, I'm out of here." And that's when he ran away. He didn't know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, when you miss spot, yeah, you take 2 damage. Yeah.
I
But
had
he
a really good
missed on
play.
them too, so
I had a really good play with my spot where I hypersonicked, rivalry to Kong, rolled breakaway, brought Kong in the range of my other guys. And I could have killed Kong that turn, but I just missed my attacks. Then I was hoping, I was like, just please attack. Just please quake with Kong onto my guys. But nope, he ran in there, Beetlejuice first attacking spot, and then missed and learned spot's thing.
Oh, because if Kong attacked spot with a quake and
He would
you
have died.
missed.
either if he just missed it or you super sense out of it, then you would KO the Kong. That yeah, I see what you're saying.
It was just like I put him right next to all my pogs too, so even if he hit everything, he would have got like 40 points. But I was just like, oh
Yeah,
please, just
from Logan was a little frustrated because he didn't know what to do. I think the only play he had to make it, he just had to run spot out there
I don't know. I
and
was just also
make him
frustrated
attack spot
because
to miss.
this dude, he was just playing so gay. It
Yeah,
was
the
just
guy
so
made it
annoying.
to top 4 with 590 points. What do you expect, Logan?
So annoying.
150 of them were from my game, so I imagine a lot of his games went that way.
But yeah, that's what happened.
So both of your losses were to main force Beetlejuice, and then everything else you swept, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So so if you're against Logan, just don't use main force Beetlejuice, and then you lose. But if you do, then you win. No, that's basically it.
But no, like you said, I think they need to do something to the Beetlejuice, but they also need to do something to Spot too, because like you said, you have to play main force Beetlejuice, otherwise Spot teams just win without even rolling dice most of the time.
What they said at Adepticon was that they might change Spot and that he's not able to pull people across the map.
You said Adepticon. I don't know if you meant that or
Oh.
you meant Origins.
Origins, my fault. I meant Origins.
Okay.
That they're gonna change him to where he's not gonna be able to pull people across the map. Like he can still swap.
They said they would like to do that.
Yeah,
Nothing's
maybe.
for sure. Yeah, nothing's
Yeah.
for sure. They want to change Beetlejuice because 3 main force Beetlejuices were played and all 3 made top 4. And I think they want to do some type of change on Spirit of Hulk too. What those changes are, we have no idea, but we know. I think they need to change Canon Event as well.
Yeah, that one's broken.
Yeah,
Because what I'm thinking of playing is just
Canon event just it should not be able you should not be able to trigger its own activation. Let's be real.
Yeah,
it
it
should
should
be.
be like opposing effects.
Yep.
100%. 100%. Like when that came out, I mean we all knew. Like we were reading that thing
Yeah,
like you can trigger it yourself, so it's like so you just play camo and you just you just send Camo out and the shark dies and then Camo's immune.
Or
You're like,
another
yeah,
trick people are doing are just Cathan with PJ and Scott. If you don't
yeah,
have camo, that works for
exactly.
plug on
Right.
any team.
You're just like, oh yeah, I do anything and you know, pay 5 points to make anybody immune. Well, basically like 10 points if you did the PJ and Scott
Yeah.
thing. But still, it's worth it to say anybody on my team, anytime I want, can be immune. Like that's
And you can
that's
make them immune during their attacks. Like that's what Ed did to me. So he wasn't even taking like you don't take mystics. Like if you're
yeah,
immune and you attack spot and miss, it's like, well, I don't take the 2 damage because I'm immune. Like
exactly. Exactly.
you trigger it on the beginning of your turn, do all your stuff, and then it's still until your next turn.
Yeah, I saw some I don't know, it was like a YouTube short or something where somebody was saying like, "Oh, make spot immune, hit somebody, pull somebody into the rival respawn like lava pit, to deal them enough, more damage and stuff." And I'm like, "Oh man, this is just that's nasty," like
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping if they are going to do changes, they do it soon so I can start working on my tropical team.
Yep.
Because if they're
yeah,
changing
I mean,
stuff, I'm
I'm
probably going to play something completely different,
yeah.
Collector's coming back if they do that to spot.
Man, he said that with a little zest in there. He's
Yeah.
like collector. Uh,
Gotta add some zest because that is also a very gay team.
it's also oh man. But yeah, I don't know. How much time did you guys have? Because I don't want to talk your ears off if you gotta go.
I mean, we got a little bit more. I mean, it's getting, we
I
got,
have to go to sleep soon for football, but yeah,
yeah, we got
I
a
got
little
till
bit
like
more.
9:40.
All right. Well, how about this? Let's for Spirit of Vengeance, right? I think was the number one kind of new. Here he comes, making a big splash. So I think for a lot of people, changes to him are the most interesting. Um, yeah, in as far as like relevant stuff. So obviously Beetlejuice needs to get changed, and like you said, there's probably several other stuff that they would like to change. But Spirit of Vengeance, I think, needs a change. It's
Yeah.
I don't think having 3,000 points of characters on a map in a 300 modern game is normal. um, and I don't think that's healthy for the format. It's fun, it's interesting, it's wacky, but I think it's like, all right, I think the piece can still be extraordinarily good even without that. So I've personally I've heard of 3 different potential changes for it. And I don't know if you guys have thought of any of these, or just if you have any
Yeah,
opinion
we've
on which.
talked. We've heard a couple, but let's see what you got.
We've heard
Yeah,
3
so
too.
I think they're probably the same that you've already heard, but just for everybody else listening, the first is that they change it so that the characters that are chosen to be pilots can't share a name, which
Yeah, I like
just
that one.
basically gets rid of that
Yeah.
multiple Thanos problem.
That's my favorite. Yeah, that's the best one, I think.
Yeah, I'm kind of
He
leaning
still
towards
might
that
be a
because
little too good at that point, but
It's
he's
still
playable.
modern, but there's just ways to do. Yeah, there's ways to kill him, and
He's
it
not
was shown
broken.
multiple
He's
times.
definitely top tier still that way.
100%. I think he's I you can't I don't think you can honestly argue that that Spirit of Vengeance is a bad character, assuming he can say, "Oh, I can still spawn a Thanos, a Phoenix Wolverine, a Beholder, and then
Or the
something else.
witch.
Like
Oh.
take your
A
pick."
lot of people do like Zombie Scarlet Witch is a good
Yeah, Zombie
option.
Scarlet
There's
Witch.
other,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, but again, it's like it's a take your pick thing at the end. It
Yep,
could even be another piece that hasn't even come out yet. You know,
Yep.
exactly.
it's just like there's if you get a piece that shares a keyword with him and has a badass last click, there you go. It just like you're in the squad. You know what I mean? Like, um, so that was one. And like I said, I think that's a very good one. But I'm also hesitant on that one because I don't know if that's good enough. I don't know if that'll
Yeah, I
make
agree. I
him.
don't know if that's good enough.
Yeah. The other one is another simpler one where it just says the characters that you choose have to be equal or less points than Spirit of Vengeance.
Yeah, we heard that
But
one.
I think that cuts them a little too hard.
Yeah, then he's terrible
That
and he
makes him
can't
not
be played.
playable.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like you do not want to play that guy at 200 points. And even then, you'd only be getting like you could play Beholder at 100. You could say he's 150 or whatever. I mean, it's like you're getting like Kongs at that point. It's just which is fine, but it's not good at all. It doesn't feel great.
Can't even pick
Yeah.
Kong. Because
Oh,
Kong's
true.
not a
Yeah.
single-based character.
Yeah, it's got to be a single.
Oh,
Yeah,
single base.
yeah. You're absolutely right. So yeah, I mean, but like I said, there's things, you can get what like Bedlam or something, what I mean? Like there's things
Yeah,
that have
there's
decent last clicks, but they aren't as inspiring. So I think that would be, you know, it would be
overkill.
understandable if they went that direction, but I think it's a little too much of a cut. Um, and then the last option, which I think it could be incorporated with either one, but it would just make, the nerf worse, is they go the direction of the legacy apocalypse and just say that you score points when the pilots are removed from the game. So I don't know how many points
Yeah.
they would just, I'm just going to throw out a number and say 30. If you scored 30 points for each pilot when they're removed from game, on top of, like that's another 120 points that you get on top of the generally 125 that he's worth. So I don't know.
Yeah, if they
Is
did
is
that one with the can't like basically unique or whatever you want to call it, Highlander, they can't share a name. I think that would be good enough.
Yeah, I think then he would be modern still, but not on every team. If that makes
yeah,
sense.
because I
Like he
feel
won't
like it's
be.
like that's to me is I feel like the biggest slap in the face to the opponent is like, okay, cool. I got this Thanos. I just dealt you 6 damage. It's your turn. You managed to KO my Thanos. You get nothing.
Yep.
And actually, you get worse than nothing because I take another damage and I spit out another
Bring
Thanos.
another Thanos. Yeah.
You're just like,
I
what? I don't get anything for this. Like, no, you don't. You literally like the game state did not change. You don't get anything. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. I also heard one where it was like maybe once Spirit of Vengeance is KO'd, all of his pilots are KO'd as well. I don't know if that's what someone was
yeah,
talking about.
I
'Cause I
feel like
guess in
that's
the
just a
comics that's kind of how he works, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know
yeah.
if that's good
I
enough
feel like
either.
that with
'Cause
that way, that would just be when he's KO'd, like your opponent wins the game. That's basically what that says.
yeah,
Because you would score well over, oh, I have 2 Thanoses. Okay, game's over. Like that's you know what I mean? So, but maybe. I mean, they could that's another thing that if they just say when he is KO'd, the opponent wins. They could just do that. I don't know. But again, I don't know if that just makes it too risky to play at
yeah,
that point.
yeah. I wouldn't play him at that point.
Yeah, because
I
you're like,
would.
okay, my opponent is literally going to ignore everything else.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah, and
no. It
then you
just
just
loses the
play.
spot team still.
Yeah, you just do stuff that gets by the
Yeah,
stop
Because
click.
practical loss
you
is
would just do a
spot.
million different like attacks. Just do that. Just do a million attacks because he's only got like 17 defense on the stop click. You know, and just be like, I
Yeah.
don't care about your. You would say, I don't care about your pilots. I'm just doing 5 attacks on Spirit of Vengeance, and if he's KO'd, the game's over. Okay, cool. Like, shake your hand. Like.
Yeah, like I
Um,
played it at X. It was fun, but multiple Thanos was too much. Like teams just could not deal with that. Like, but I do think if it was only one Thanos and other stuff, that it would be okay, in my opinion, because Spirit of Vengeance by himself isn't really a threat. Like, he never really did any damage himself. You're really just playing him for the pilots.
Yeah, and I
I
think
agree.
I think people are playing him. They were playing him that way, and correctly, to be fair,
Well,
because
and
the
then
people that he spit out are so much stronger than he is. So you're like,
I feel like
why am I
people
wasting the action
figured
to
him
attack
out.
with him? You know?
Yeah, I think people figured him out, even though it sucks because then it's like, oh, another reason I have to play Chair Panther. But like in the finals, like I was like, oh, Joe's probably gonna not win against Isaac because Isaac's gonna just bring him out. But then Joe chose Kathan
Fun.
with Chair Panther, so he couldn't hurt himself, and he just killed everything. He never attacked Spirit of Vengeance,
Exactly.
killed
Yeah.
everything else. So it's like, I mean, you need a Chair
And I will
Panther to make that
I will
work.
point this out too. Yeah. I think that's another thing that hurt Isaac in that game was the fact that he had all four Thanoses.
Yeah,
So he didn't have that fourth character. He didn't have them as a choice for another damage or attack power.
yeah,
And I think like you brought up, like having that Battle Fury as just an option,
is yeah.
or it's like
Or
somebody gonna have shape
even the
change on the
exploit.
opposing side.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
it was either Battle Fury or exploit every match, and yeah, it made
Exactly.
him better.
Yeah. So I mean, even with all that said, even though like a four Thanos team, I don't want to call that team like brain dead, but it's like, I mean, it is just it's like the all gas no brakes of HeroClix teams. It's just I do this thing. That's all I do. You can't beat it. Like I'm just gonna steamroll over you. It's just um and like I said, and it did so well. But I still think, even though a four Thanos team got to the finals, I don't think four Thanoses are the way to go. I don't know. That's just me. I don't.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
two. I like the
yeah.
two.
I can't get away from Phoenix, Wolverine, and Beholder.
Yeah,
I still think that's the best way to go because there are times, again, I mean, his excuse for not doing Beholder was he has Beetlejuice, right? So it doesn't make sense. If you're playing Beetlejuice, Beholder doesn't make sense. But even still, then you're like, that's three Thanoses and a Phoenix Wolverine. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
did
I
you
had fun
guys?
playing it. I wouldn't be mad if they nerfed it into the ground. I got to play it.
No, and to be fair too, yeah, that there was, like I said, I played it as well at a different event. I played it at Gamers World, not nationals, but there was other people that were playing it as well, and I was telling people as when I was there, I'm like, good thing that you're playing it now while he's still good, because
Yeah,
probably in a couple weeks he ain't gonna be so good no more.
exactly.
um, but before we sign up, I don't know. Did you want to talk at all about being recruited, or is that an announcement that someone else is making at another time?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't ask them about it. So, I mean, I could just say it, but I'm not going to give out too much details. But yeah, we just had someone, they're starting up a new team, and they asked me and Logan to join it. And it's got some pretty heavy hitters on there. So, I don't know. It was just an exciting thing. I don't actually know what it means to be on a team. Like I told them, I'll still always be Hell. This is my group.
I don't know what it means to be on our team. It will make me
Well,
cry.
no, like what is it? Like what? We just go to big events and do team sealed? Like, I don't know. I mean, we just talk clicks
I mean,
together. Like, I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, what? I mean, how deep can you get into this game?
Yeah,
It's just yeah. You
but
you
I don't
play
know.
the game together, and you let people. They let you borrow stuff. You let them borrow stuff. That's how
Yeah, we
teams work.
workshop. Yeah,
Yeah,
workshop
they
team
gave me a
ideas
$20
and
signing bonus.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
No, yeah, I just thought it was cool because we talked to like most of those, well, two of the guys that are in there during nationals, and they were super cool. So I haven't talking to one for a while on Facebook, but yeah, I'm sure. I don't know when they're saying it. Like it's still literally new. I just found out about it yesterday. So
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't want to be the thing.
yeah, I
So,
don't want to be the
but
one to spoil it or nothing.
yeah, and so to be clear, this is a message. Actually, I can directly talk to Miguel and Maverick, but because they believe that I know all the details, and I'm telling and I was like, no, I don't. I'm like, what I just said is everything I know. And Maverick's initial reaction was, oh well, get Rick and Logan to admit that they're traitors on the
No,
Hel Talk.
I got receipts. I physically said like I will join this team, but I'm part of this Hell group. I called you out by name, Matt Liner. He's the reason me and Logan are this invested in Hero Clicks, or even this good to begin with. Like I would never turn my back on you guys. I mean, I could even throw
Yeah, and
Miguel and Maverick in that conversation,
right,
and it
and my
just
whole thing
changes
too is like,
nothing.
exactly right, and that's my whole thing. I'm like, we're just playing this game because we enjoy this game. It's not like,
Yeah,
oh, like for example, like, hey guys, I'm on Phoenix Nest now, so I'm not gonna play in any of your events no more. Like you're like, what
yeah,
are you talking? Like,
yeah,
don't you? That's not what do you like. So by joining a team, you're gonna play the game less. Like, isn't that that's what I mean? Like that's the point of joining a team is to like get more involved with the game. So
yeah,
so it's of course like why would you not encourage that? Like, you know what I mean? If I could be a part of every single HeroClix team on the planet, why not? I mean,
yeah,
that would take up
exactly.
literally every minute of every waking moment of my day, but you know what I mean? It's like go for it. So, um, but yeah, and then like I said, then Miguel was the one he doesn't believe it. He says that he said I was just I'm full of what he said. I'm full of cap. I forgot what he said on the message. Let's see, what has he got going on here? Is he saying more stuff? What is he going on?
No, yeah, I would.
Let's
We're
see.
still hell from day one till we're done, which hopefully is never. So hopefully I
No,
never grow out of this game.
this is a complete joke, Mac. Oh my god. An aneurysm. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
What, you don't want to say that? You want to say a joke?
No, I was gonna say I'm gonna text the group chat. I'm quitting hell or whatever as a joke.
Yeah, it's like
Exactly.
we're joining a team. When will we even, like we're still hell. We're still gonna.
Like I said, the only acceptable reason that I would have if you guys were like, look, I can't play any more hell events ever again is like because you got that nut butter sponsorship. All right. If nut butter tells you that you can't
Nah,
play,
you can.
then you don't play. All right.
Nah, you
You
can hear this for you, Maverick and Miguel. I'm still hell, and I'm gonna win the Rumble again this year to prove it.
No, he cheated. He used loaded dice. You can run it back. Run back the tape.
All right. So,
I'm not gonna miss an event again. I'm coming for the number
um,
one. I'm coming for you, Matt. You're number one right now.
well, so to be fair, my number one spot is like it's almost like a
Doesn't matter.
Guaranteed.
Number
symbolic.
one.
It's like a symbolic one. It's because since I'm not going to participate in the Rumble, my actual standing doesn't matter. But it's actually it's only important for when people play against me. So everybody else should want me to have more points because the more points I have, that means the more
The more
points
points
you
you
get
get,
when you face me for
yeah, that
catch up
is true.
points. So my points don't matter. I could have 10 billion points, doesn't matter. In fact, then that would be better for everybody else if I did have it. So um I am going to uh I've already thought about ideas of changing that in the future of just saying, hey, look, if you go against me, you automatically get max points, and then I don't get any points ever. Like, so I don't appear on the leaderboard. Um, but I wanted to get a whole year of this new point system that we're using, and just to have the data behind it to support that decision. So,
Yeah.
Because I can understand when people look at it and be like, oh, of course Matt's winning. It's his own league. And it's like, yeah, it's because I'm at every event by
Yeah. There's
nature.
not an event without you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, there are some, like, for example, like, the Fellowship Cup, and things like there are events that I
Oh
don't play
yeah,
at.
you're
So there
right.
are some,
Yeah.
but the
True.
vast majority of them I play in. Especially the home events where you get more points and all that stuff. So it makes sense that I'm on top, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day because the points are only good for drafting in the Rumble and participating in the Rumble, and I'm not doing that. So you know what I mean? So there you go. Yeah. But all right, but yeah, I hope the the brand deal sponsorship, whatever you got going on, news comes out. And then we can all, obviously make fun of you for that. We're gonna.
Yeah.
And let's see. But yeah, anything else you guys any last thoughts about Origins? Thinking about going again next year and or what's,
Yeah.
last words?
Yeah. I liked Origins a lot. I would definitely. That was one I would hopefully, as long as they do nationals there every year, I would try to go every year as long as it works out. It's kind of a good time of year for us, where we don't got a whole lot going on with sports or anything. But yeah, I would encourage more people from Hell to go next year. It'll be a blast.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I'm like, if the tropical regionals weren't a thing, I would have gone because that's where that money would have gone towards. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
but it's just I've set up the tropical regional in such a way that I'm not making I'm not making any money off of this thing. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, I'm
I'm
looking
basically
forward
just
to that too.
yeah, I'm basically just purchasing the prize kit and then just going, here, everybody, it's yours.
Here, you
Like
take it. Yeah.
exactly. Um, so, but like I said, hopefully that works out. And yes, I agree with you. I hope if they do come out with a updated errata list, I hope it is at least within the next 2 weeks so that we have time to think about builds before
Yeah.
that event.
Yeah. Brainstorm and get a couple practice games in.
But yeah, that would be nice. But I think we got convinced to go to Worlds at Origins too. So probably will
Yeah.
be at
So we
Worlds
might
this
make
year.
a dumb decision and either fly out or drive out after Logan's game on Friday and go to Worlds literally just for the modern event. Literally just for one night. So if anyone else wants to tag
Well,
along,
I mean, it would be. Oh, you like so you're going and then
like Logan will
you'd be
have a
leaving like
football
the
game
more.
Friday night. Yeah, we'd either be leaving super early in the morning Saturday and flying there. I mean, we didn't look into it yet, but I basically got the okay from the wife.
All right.
So yeah, we're probably going just for modern. Gotta make a splash.
All right. Well, I don't know. If you're going just for that, I don't know. I don't want to automatically say I'm tagging in, but I might.
No, yeah, for
I'm
sure. The more the merrier.
somebody's got to sing the scat man on the whole way there. All right. I'm gonna wrap this up. Let me stop the recording. And for everybody that listens to Hell Talk, what the hell is wrong with you? No, I'm just joking. Talk to you guys later.